I have summoned the Queen of the Jinn. I have summoned her. I have summoned her.
In the shadows of forgotten rituals, and in the silence between whispers and screams, there are stories that were never meant to be told. Tonight, you will step into a hidden world of fear, where each tale bleeds into the next, and every secret pulls you deeper into the dark. Welcome to Memoirs of an Egyptian Magician.
In the dim apartment, Adel sits surrounded by the harsh reality of unpaid bills. He stares blankly at the screen, desperately seeking a lifeline from the digital abyss. The weight of hopelessness fills the room, pressing down on Adel as the night deepens. Adel, bathed in the screen's glow, deciphers an ancient manuscript. The room's shadows deepening with each passing moment, meticulously drawing arcane symbols on the floor with chalk. The air thickens as he chants the incantations in a low, resonant voice. Anticipation building. Bathed in the moon's glow, Adel finishes the ritual, hands raised as he speaks the final words. Bathed in the moon's glow, Adel finishes the ritual, hands raised as he speaks the final words. Queen Gondor materializes, radiant and ethereal, filling the rooftop with wonder and power. Adel is awestruck by her presence. On the rooftop, Queen Gondor listens attentively as Adel shares his heartfelt plea. Sensing the sincerity in Adel's despair and the kindness in his spirit, Queen Gondor pledges her assistance. She warns Adel to wield her aid for the greater good, a condition he gratefully accepts. The scene highlights the stark contrast between Adel's humble demeanor and Queen Gondor's majestic presence. Adel expresses gratitude to Queen Gondor, asking, "Thank you, Queen Gondor. You may depart now." Queen Gondor vanishes, leaving only a subtle shimmer in the night air. Alone on the rooftop, Adel gazes at the moonlit sky, a flicker of hope igniting his eyes as he awaits the sign. Beneath the full moon, Adel ascends to the rooftop, preparing for a profound ritual. He arranges a circle, igniting incense with a scent both ancient and laden with purpose. With unwavering determination, Adel calls out, "Appear, Gondor, daughter of the King of Light." Under the cloak of night, Adel's chants echo as incense smoke dances around him, not drifting but swirling in response to his call. A subtle dizziness washes over Adel, warmth spreading beneath his skin as he continues his incantation. I remain within the circle, my eyes shut tight, bracing for what is to come. In a dreamscape, I float weightlessly where the sky is infinite, unbound by earthly constraints. Swirling stars dance around me, the moon hanging close, bathing the scene in an ethereal glow. In this surreal realm, a voice echoes. Who breaks the barrier never returns the same. Adel awakens on the rooftop, the dream's residue still clinging to him amidst the lingering incense. A mysterious symbol catches Adel's eye, an unknown mark etched into the tiles. Wonder and apprehension mix as Adel reaches out, drawn to the enigma before him. Then Adel went to his bedroom to sleep, waiting for the new thing in his life. Good morning. I'm Adel. After what happened last night, I can't say I'm the same person. Something changed, inside me and around me. I woke up on the rooftop, the cold still clinging to my bones. The sun was just beginning to stretch its light across the walls, soft and slow. The scent of incense still hung in the air. Heavy, strange, not like anything I've known. Papers scattered all around me. Symbols drawn in black chalk covered the tiles. I started collecting the pages, wiping away the drawings. Not because I was afraid someone might see them, but because I didn't want to see them myself. Every mark I erased felt like I was trying to undo something that had already begun. Like closing a door I shouldn't have opened. I paused, looked up at the sky, and whispered to myself, "Is this the beginning or the end? I'm from this village, a small Egyptian place, dusty streets, humble people, and homes stacked like memories. I wasn't always like this. I once owned a small factory. I worked hard, made money. People respected me. Some even feared me. But money doesn't stay. One day, I lost everything. The factory shut down. Debts grew. And the people who used to crowd around me, gone. I came back here empty-handed. But something inside me wasn't empty. Something was pulling me toward the unknown, toward what happened last night. Now, as I walk these streets again, they don't look the same. They feel like they're watching me, not just holding me. I stepped into the small eatery by the market. Old place, familiar smells, vinegar, fried potatoes, mint tea. The tables were scratched wood, the plastic chairs wobbled, and the ceiling fan buzzed like it was ready to give up. I sat in the corner, same spot I always used to take. People were laughing, talking, eating breakfast like it was any other day. But I was there among them, not with them. I ordered full, eggs and mint tea. Voices echoed from the kitchen, spoons clanged against pots. I stared into my tea. The steam curled up in tight spirals, just like the incense smoke from last night. Same movement, same rhythm. And suddenly, I felt it. Hunger. Not normal hunger, but a deep, aching emptiness. Like something had drained me completely. When the food came, I ate like I hadn't eaten in days. Each bite grounding me, dragging me back into my body. Back from wherever I'd gone the night before. I walked out of the restaurant, but inside me, last night was still burning. The tea's warmth lingered on my tongue, but my thoughts were far away. Something unfinished was following me. The village was still asleep. Nothing had changed on the outside, but I wasn't the same. I was moving, but my mind was trapped somewhere else. Somewhere beyond this place. Then, from the shadows, a black dog, big, silent. It didn't bark or growl. It just stared, like it was waiting for me. I looked into its eyes, deep, dark, familiar. I couldn't look away, and I wasn't afraid. I felt recognized. I reached out gently. My hand touched his head. Warm, steady. He didn't move. It felt like he came to deliver something, or take me somewhere I couldn't see yet. He turned and began to walk, slow and certain. I followed without thought, like I was being led, not through streets, but through something much deeper. I stood outside my home. Same door, same walls, but it felt different. I was tired. Not just my legs, my soul. Something had shifted inside me. I turned around. He was still there, watching. One last look. Then he walked away. Quiet. Like a shadow returning to the night it came from. I entered my house. No voices, no movement, just stillness. Even the walls seemed to whisper, but I couldn't listen anymore. I was too tired. I woke up suddenly. My heart was racing. I looked at the clock. It was around 3 in the afternoon. I felt like someone had called my name. A soft voice, feminine, but not human. I opened my eyes. Sunlight was pouring through the window, but the room felt cold, an unnatural cold. I sat up on the bed, my mind foggy, and my lips moved before I could think. Who's calling me? Silence, no reply, but deep inside I knew that wasn't just a nap. There was a call from another world. I just wanted to relax, so I headed to the fields. But that's when everything went horribly wrong. Stepped out of the house, still dazed from sleep. It was around 3 in the afternoon. The village was quiet, the sun starting to lean west. Dusty paths stretched ahead, and the houses around me felt asleep, like they were holding their breath. I walked without a destination, but something inside me whispered, "Keep walking." I passed through narrow alleys until I reached the edge of the village. There, the fields opened wide, a calm green glowing under the soft sunlight. The canal ran beside them, its still water hiding something deeper. I sat by the bank, trying to clear my head. Then, her reflection appeared in the water, the same face I saw in the dream. Her eyes were calm, and she said, "We have to begin." Before I could react, she faded away like she was never there. I walked back home with a heavy feeling. Tonight, something is coming, and I'm part of it. I returned home, completely drained, like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. I walked into my room and dropped onto the bed, staring up at the ceiling. I don't even know what I was thinking, but deep inside, I had this feeling that tonight was going to be different. I fell asleep for a while. When I woke up, it was 11:30 p.m. Something inside me was pulling, telling me to get up, now. I prepared the incense, everything was in place, and I headed up to the rooftop. The silence was terrifying, and the smoke began to swirl around me like it was dancing or drawing strange shapes. My heart was pounding, but I felt certain. Tonight, I had to find answers. I closed my eyes and thought of her. I thought of the Queen of Light. At that moment, I felt a strange energy. And then, in a soft, clear voice, I heard her speak to me. She told me she had been with me from the beginning. She knew everything. My weakness, my losses, my loneliness. I was shocked, but somehow I felt safe. She said my life was going to change, step by step, just like I'd always dreamed, that I wasn't alone. And even if she wasn't physically there, one of her servants would be. And every time I needed her, every time I thought of her, she would answer. She told me, "Be ready and let yourself go." And in that moment, I truly let go. I heard her voice again. "First, your financial problems. You need to be rich." I smiled, but it was a smile filled with hope, with belief. And I told her, "I'm tired, Queen of Light." She replied, "Don't be afraid. You'll come back stronger than ever, and soon. There's always hope. Just be ready and never look back." I was asleep in my house. The night was quiet, until I heard someone calling my name from outside. It was Fod, my cousin, standing there with his mother. I got up, opened the door, let them in, made some tea, and we sat down. Fod looked nervous. He said, "Something strange happened to me. I don't know why I came to you, but I felt like you're the only person I could talk to." Then, he started to tell me his story. He said he was at home one evening playing PlayStation when his friend Faisal called and said, "I've got a quick trip to Al-Agami. It's a long and empty road. I don't like going alone. Come with me?" Fod hesitated, but agreed. Al-Agami is a coastal area near Alexandria. Half of it is government-owned land, the other half full of abandoned villas. But the road to it? Long, deserted. They call it Road of the Columns. Just sand and shadows on both sides. Fod said he hates isolated places, but he went anyway. On the way, Faisal said, "I'm actually staying for 2 nights at my uncle's villa. Too much work to drive back and forth. Stay with me. It'll be fun." Fod tried to say no, but after a lot of convincing, he gave in. As they drove deeper into the dark, the streetlights vanished. Only the headlights lit the way. Fod dozed off and woke up to the car shaking violently on rough terrain. He yelled, "Why did you leave the road?" Faisal said, "The car was stalling. I got scared something would go wrong." And then the engine died. Completely. The road was nearby, but empty. No signal, no help. Then, in the distance, Fod spotted a faint light. Like tents, maybe? They walked toward it with just the phone flashlight. Faisal shouted, "Hey, anyone there? Our car broke down." A man appeared. Tall, dark-skinned, silent. Sudanese, maybe. He said nothing, just walked back into his tent, then returned, holding a jerry can of fuel. They told him the car already had gas. He filled it anyway. They thanked him. He didn't say a word, just disappeared. They got in the car, and this time it started instantly. Fod said he tried to laugh, but something in his chest felt wrong. A few minutes later, a black SUV pulled up beside them, same speed. The driver, pale skin, wide eyes, was staring directly at them. Then, back to the road. Then at them again. Faisal said, "That guy's off. He's dangerous." The SUV stuck close for 7 whole minutes. Then, the driver signaled them to pull over. Faisal hesitated, but stopped. The man jumped out of the SUV, rushed over, looked into their back seat, and muttered, "La ilaha illallah. A'udhu billah. There is no God but God. I seek refuge in Him." They asked what was wrong. He said, "There was someone in the back seat, a woman, wide eyes, staring at me." Then she vanished. They checked. Nothing. They told him maybe he imagined it, but he said, "No. I know what I saw." And just like that, he left. Fod was shivering now. Faisal turned on loud Quran recitation. They drove the rest of the way in silence until they reached the villa. Old, broken, iron gate creaking loud as they pushed it open. Glass shattered. Furniture overturned. Everything abandoned. Fod said, "I felt like someone was watching us from between the trees." They walked upstairs. Suddenly, they heard a cough. Deep, old, behind a locked room. Faisal froze. Fod panicked. They ran out, jumped in the car, and didn't stop till morning. But the story didn't end there. A few nights later, Fod's younger brother started acting strange. They found him sleepwalking on the roof. His back, scratched like he'd been clawed. He didn't remember a thing. Just said he'd been hearing someone calling him from above. He said he wakes up with food all around him, half-eaten, but he never remembers eating. The family moved out, first to their uncle's, then rented a flat in Al-Agami. But the horror followed them. Lights flickering on their own, dark shapes in corners, shadows watching them. One night, Fod felt a cold hand on his shoulder. When he turned, no one was there. But in the mirror, he saw a man, half his body inside the wall, half out. His mother started dreaming of drowning, of burning, and always. Fod was saving her. He said, "We can't live like this anymore. And in every dream, I see myself coming to you, Adel, like you're the only one who can stop this." I sat in silence. Didn't know why they were telling me this. I told them, "Give me time. Maybe I can figure something out." I felt a sharp pain in my stomach, excused myself to go to the bathroom. While walking down the hallway, a thought hit me. The Queen, Al-Gandur, the Jinn Queen. Her voice, one I hadn't heard in years, whispered clearly, "Tell them you have the answer." I went back, and before I could stop myself, I said, "I'll fix this, but only if you go home today. Don't ask any questions. We'll meet again in 1 week." I shook their hands, still stunned. It felt like I was watching someone else speak through me. They left. Days passed. Normal life returned. I told myself, it's over. But 1 week later, I heard someone calling from outside. "Adel! Hey, Adel!" I opened the door. It was Fod, with his parents, his brother, arms full of gifts. They came in. I said, "What happened?" They said, "Everything's fine now, just like you said, and just like you told us, don't ask. And don't you ask either." Fod's father took out a sleek box, placed it on the table, and said, "Thank you, Adel. You gave us our lives back." Then they left. I was speechless. I opened the box. Inside, a wristwatch. But not just any watch, an expensive one. I sold it later for $35,000. But the moment I held it, I remembered the promise. "Your problems will disappear," the Queen had said, "but you'll pay the price." And as I looked around my empty house, I realized the price hasn't even begun.